Howdy, folks. I'm charismatic common ringlet, courteously curtsying to cute creatures.
I'm Amber.
Here are more cute creatures for us to curtsy to. I'm not sure why. We're butterflies, the king of all other, like, insects, so kings and queens. So I'm not sure why we would be bowing to them. They bow to us. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Will I Be a Jerk for Selling My Car, which my daughter uses? Well, years ago, before the pandemic, I bought a 90s Mercedes. It was looking good, but it had a few mechanical issues, and I thought that it would be a fun project car and a way to teach myself more about cars. But between work and house responsibilities, I never found the time. My wife was already on my case about how little time I had for chores, and I didn't want to give her another reason to nag me. When my daughter was 16, she went through this phase where she was really into showing that she could do guy stuff while still being feminine. She still has this kind of vibe. She did a physics and math degree, then she did a PhD, and now she's doing a postdoc. At the time, she was begging us for a car, and I said no at first, but eventually said that she could try fixing up the Mercedes and use it if she got it working. I was skeptical. The car wasn't really worth much, and I figured that she would probably make it worse, but she ended up doing a great job. It took her around 8 months, and she had some outside help and a few custom parts made, imported some others, and eventually paid to have it professionally painted and detailed. Since then, it's been her main car. It has a lot of miles on it now, but it still runs great. Recently, I noticed how much the value of those models have gone up, especially post-pandemic. I decided to list it and already have several strong offers. I never transferred the title to her, and she was still living at home rent-free until her first degree and using the car rent-free all these years. I offered to pay her back for the paint job since that was her biggest expense. She's upset and says that it's not about money, it's about the sentimental value of it. I get that, and I'm not trying to be cold, but it's still just an old car at the end of the day. It could get rear-ended tomorrow by some girl on her phone not paying attention. It happened to me, and luckily there was no damage. I think keeping it as a daily driver is just throwing away money when it could get real value for it now. She is no longer a teen and has income ever since she started her PhD. She worked for the university in addition to her studies like tutoring, lecturing, etc. So am I the jerk? All right, folks, what do you think?
Yes, yes, Major, you're the jerk. You're only looking at this with dollar signs in your eyes. Your daughter is like has this car for all intents and purposes. She's the one who's poured not only money, but time. Like
Mm-hmm.
8 months of labor. That's a lot of time and energy, and mechanics charge a pretty penny and for good reason.
Yeah.
So Opie's not even thinking about the labor costs and all this. He wants to pay her for a paint job. Also, not to mention all the other maintenance she's put into this car. Like, he's literally just like, oh, well, this could be a big boon to my bank account, so I want to sell this car that my daughter has invested time and money and has deep sentimental value to because it works better for my bank account. Do you even love your daughter, OP?
Well, I mean, I think that's really the big thing here is that there's a lot more to this car than he's making it seem like, because there is the repair cost, there's the maintenance fees, there's all these other associated fees. Has she been paying for the registration? Has she been paying for the inspections? I mean, maybe where OP lives they don't have inspections, but she's been keeping it roadworthy, and for a car that is from the 90s, that's going to require a lot of maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that OP is trying to downplay what his daughter's contribution is here, right?
Yeah.
Again, like you take a car like that to the mechanics and they're going to charge you an arm and a leg to do service on it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and she's doing all of that and keeping it maintained and doing a great job of it. He admits that she's doing a great job of it. So I think that OP is being short-sighted and that if he does sell this, then his daughter is going to probably hate him forever.
Yeah, and I also don't like his attitude in general. Where he's like, she went through this phase where she wanted to do guy things.
Yeah.
It seems like fixing up cars is a thing that she enjoys, just like it seems like math and science are things she enjoys. It's not a phase,
Yeah.
you know. I mean,
She's 20 some odd years old and it's all a phase. She'll get over it eventually.
yeah, I know. Like, I just found it so absurd because I have math and science degrees, math and physics degrees too. And like reading this, and it's like, when does it stop being a phase? Like, she already has a PhD in STEM, and she's been taking care of this car for like well over a decade. I think it's past the phase period.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. No chill, only drama. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all drama of his own creation. The simple answer is just give his daughter the car.
Mm-hmm. And Paladin Hare says, you're the jerk and honestly sexist too. You think that your daughter was trying to do guy stuff by studying math? What? Let's be honest here. The only reason that car has any worth at all is because she fixed it. After you thought that she would ruin it, because that's what a girl's gonna do when fixing a car, I guess. She spent a lot of time and money and put a lot of effort into it. If you sell it, you'll need to give her a vast majority of the profits, but you would still be the jerk for selling it. And OP replies, I don't think that math should be restricted to men by any means. Just statistically, more men enter those fields, and she has made countering that her identity, perhaps even more than interest, especially at the time as a teen. If I had a son, I would be skeptical that an inexperienced person would learn and fix it up and not give up. I think that it's cool and it worked out well for her, though, and I just was giving the information in the context at the time. And our fourth says, you're the jerk. You never ever believed in her, and now you're profiting off of her hard work and labor. You couldn't be a worse dad. There's no fixing this. Sell it to her for free and transfer the title, and maybe she'll consider keeping you in her life. But even then, that's just doing what should have been done years ago. If I were her, I would look for my own place and never speak to you again. And OP replies, she's already moved out after starting her PhD. I'm obviously reconsidering, hence why I posted. I could say that it was just a joke and surprise her instead with the title. I don't need the money, I just felt it was wise from a financial point of view. I did actually kind of want to point out that OP, if they were really this upset by this whole situation, then they can just go ahead and sell the car to her for whatever they originally paid for it.
Yeah.
But I do think like giving her the title for free would be a great thing.
Yes. But I definitely think OP should back down on this let me sell the car for massive amounts of money thing.
What do you think of his idea of calling it a joke?
I mean, I think he just needs to own up. And he kind of doubles down in the comments where he's like, there's no reason she needs to know. I mean, OP, if you can't be honest with your daughter, that's not a good sign.
Yeah. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Asking My Future In-Laws for Money? My fiance's parents are loaded, old money loaded. They can afford what I'm asking, no problem. I make very good money at my job, and I'm currently 27, and I earn over $170,000 a year. Tim is a teacher, and he doesn't make as much, but he's a bit of a trust fund, so he works sort of as a public service. It's just big in his family. Recently, I had a weird conversation with him and his folks. They think that after the wedding, I should quit working and be a stay-at-home mom. I thought that they were joking and kind of laughed. They are perfectly serious. They think that it's emasculating that I earn more than Tim. Over the course of my career, I will earn much more than him, but his trust fund is in the low seven figures. He could afford to pay me what I earn yearly, but he can't due to the stipulations of his trust. His mom, on the other hand, has a lot of interest built up in the trust. So I offered a solution that I thought was fair. They set up an irrevocable trust for me. They must contribute my gross or yearly earnings with bumps for anticipated raises and promotions. The deposit would be for the next 35 years. That way, if I'm a stay-at-home mom and Tim is the breadwinner, then I'm protected in case of a divorce. Apparently, I am ridiculous for thinking that they will give me money. I offered a compromise. I sign a prenup where I'm entitled to half of Tim's trust in the case of divorce if I give up my career. Also not acceptable to them. I'm kind of at a loss here. Do they honestly think that I would give up my career with zero safety net? My mom says that I'm being kind of rude, putting everything in such stark monetary terms. I think that I'm being reasonable. What do you think? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. You definitely need some sort of financial protection. Like, this kind of situation they're trying to set up is rife for financial abuse.
Yeah.
They are people with lots and lots of money, and they want you to have nothing and to have to rely on them. And they're only their only concern, as they've made it clear, is protecting themselves and their family. You are never going to be family in the way that they are because you are not blood. So I think you're very wise. I mean, honestly, it sounds like you love your job. Don't quit your job just for a dude. Keep your job. Maybe find someone else to marry if this is such a big hang up for him, because it comes out in the comments that he is adamant about it. He finds it emasculating that OP out earns him, and he's open to either of the compromises, but I still don't think it's a good idea. Like, just keep your job and your earning potential and find someone who values you and your career.
Yeah, well, if he's emasculated by this, then I think that's a big red flag that OP needs to examine. And he was present for this conversation
Mm-hmm.
too. So it wasn't like him, like OP and the parents were having this conversation without him. He was here for this. So he knows what the terms are. And I mean, I think it's great that he's open to what OP has proposed. But as long as the parents aren't, and it's going to be really difficult to navigate that. And I mean, OP needs to be very careful about how they put this in legal terms, because if they're loaded, they have lawyers,
Yeah.
and you can win any legal case by attrition, right?
Yeah. And I mean, on top of that, like, I also don't like that his parents are getting involved in their finances in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this should have been a conversation between Opie and her partner. That's it. The
Yeah.
fact that his family is in here bullying Opie into giving up her career so their precious baby doesn't feel emasculated. Honestly, Opie, I would walk at that point.
Well, I wonder how many behind the scenes conversations have taken place between Tim and his parents
Mm-hmm.
for them to go to this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I think that if OP likes their job and they want to continue working, then there's nothing to stop them. And I think that they should seriously put some money aside if they do end up going into this relationship, and make sure then they are going to have a prenup and everything like that too, so that they can make sure that their money is protected as well. So I think that this situation seems like it could be a bad situation if OP isn't careful about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even with a prenup, if they are loaded and have all the lawyers, they might be able to skew things. So I would proceed with extreme, extreme caution and
Mm-hmm.
not quit your job no matter what. If it makes your partner feel that emasculated, then he's not the right person for you.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Refusing to Pay €150 a month for my parents' gifted car? My partner, a 25-year-old male, recently got an electric car as a gift from his parents. It was presented as fully his, and I wasn't involved in any of the discussion about it. I don't even have a driver's license, so I can't use it myself. I'm only ever a passenger when my partner drives. Well, a few days ago, his parents told me that I should contribute €150 a month because I quote unquote benefit from the car too. They argued that we use it to visit my family or run errands together, and they said nothing in life is free, not even for us. They also added that if they were to pass away, my partner would get less inheritance because he's already benefiting now, so I should balance out his share by paying as well. I told them directly that I don't think that was fair, and I wouldn't be paying for a car that I didn't ask for and I can't even drive. They became clearly irritated and said that I was taking advantage of my partner's situation. They implied that if I don't pay, then they might charging us rent for the car. I'm already split on all our shared expenses, 50-50 rent, utilities, groceries, because I want things to be fair. I even paid half of the home charger that we installed for the car. But paying monthly for something gifted to my partner that I can't use feels wrong to me. My partner understands why I feel this way, but he's caught in the middle and doesn't want to conflict with his parents. So am I the jerk for refusing to pay? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk, and his parents don't seem to understand the meaning of the word gift. It is not a gift if you have to make monthly payments on it.
Yeah.
So first of all, find out whose name the car is in. If it's in his name, you're fine. If it's in his parents' name, he needs to return the car to his parents and say he's not going to let them financially bully you. What they're doing is not okay, and he should have like gifts with no strings attached. But if he's not willing to stand up for OP and it's just like, I don't know what to do. I don't care if my parents take €150 from you every month to add to my inheritance. That seems perfectly fair.
Well, the fact is that this was taken out of his inheritance, and now they're trying to have OP reimburse that
Yeah.
inheritance. I mean, come on, give me a break. Really? No. And not to mention, like, a lot of places, inheritances are not considered joint property.
Mm-hmm.
So this money isn't even going to eventually become half of OP's if they were to get married. Now, this is a bad deal all around, and OP should definitely not play into their hand here. They can say, well, if you have a problem with it, go ahead, have a problem with it. I don't know. Like, I do think that if they're holding a present over their partner's head like this, then you're right that maybe it's time to return that present, right?
Right, because it makes me wonder how often do they do this with gifts? How many hidden strings are there attached? And it's important for OPs. I know OP's partner doesn't want to rock the boat with his parents, but it's important for him to have a spine now, instead of like letting them control him financially for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's important. Hopefully their partner can stand up to this because this is actually absurd, right?
Hmm.
And I mean, I think like this right here would make me seriously question accepting any gifts from them at all in
Hmm.
the future because something like this just seems like a repeatable pattern.
Yes.
So I feel bad because it's not a good situation. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Hollering Corgi says, lol, no, what in the world? Tell them to go away. Your boyfriend needs to buck up and deal with his parents. If my parents try to pull this nonsense with my partner, I would refuse the car. Likely by slingshotting the keys through the front window, but I'm a little ridiculous like that. And Desperate Radish 2534 says, and if not, break up with him because this is just an indicator of what your whole life will be like. Imagine trying to parent your child and they want to do it differently and he feels caught in the middle. No way. I mean, I think that's fair. It's like he's not putting up any kind of resistance now.
Hmm.
And Abject Ad 2459 says, not the jerk, but your partner sure is. And Nan Landu says, absolutely, there's no in the middle. There's silent agreement with his parents. It's not a gift if you take money for it. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
1 second.
Amber has no joke today. I have a joke for you. Knock, knock. Who's there? Brian. Brian who? You know who it is because it's you, Brian. You're talking to yourself. You've gone mad. Oh no, that's terrible. I'm not opening the door for that guy. No, still no joke.
What did the mayor say to her roughhousing ponies?
Oh, I know exactly what the mayor said to his roughhousing ponies. They said, quit horsing around.
Exactly. It's National I Love Horses Day.
Woohoo! So if you like horses, then go and find one to give a hug to. I don't know. Just don't hug a horse that you don't know and isn't yours. And I have Earl Grey. They said, nay, stop horsing around. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Terrific Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on cars and money.
A gift that comes with financial strings is not a gift at all.
Yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.